Wide bottle Lambo kit, wide bottle, wide bottle Lambo kit, wide bottle, feel like fucking these records off. Yo hoe fucking the rap, yo hoe been fucking the travel, yo hoe been fucking the travel. I don't get into the chatter, pimpin' ain't dead, they capping. She worship a nigga, I'm having it. Ask me how I feel, tycoon. 2 million hundreds can't fit in the room. Lil' he gone all alone. Went past the trenches and went to the moon. Just Vinci for 2002. Pretty little model, no sprint through the crew. Chopping and product, bitch, tying my shoe. Take off a link on the paddock, she go to the throat as a goat. You know how I charge them hoes a fee. 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 Charge them hoes a fee.
Yo, what is good, y'all? What is good, y'all? What's good, Aaron? What's good, Evie? What's good, Yola? Good to see y'all. Little heads up, I am not going to be able to be on here for too terribly long because I do have to pack. You still have to pack. And I got a lot of shit to do, so I'm probably going to be live for like an hour max. But that's alright, but I already have to leave. No worries, man. No worries. Well, thanks for stopping by for a little bit at least. Oh yeah, there's the mayor debate going on right now, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't need to be talking about more political shit right before I leave the country with how shit's been going. But anyway, I wanted to see the new oh yeah, we can check out the new MKBHD video. I just got a message from my family the dinner will be ready like just now. Damn, that is tough. Oh, no worries, man. Thanks for stopping by though.
Nintendo sent this box over, and inside
dinner.
this box is our Nintendo Switch 2.
All right.
$449 Nintendo Switch 2. Actually, there's a bunch of stuff in this box. There is the Nintendo Switch 2 plus the Mario Kart World bundle. That's $4.99. Okay. There's also a Switch 2 camera in here, which is $55.
Switch 2 camera? What the fuck? The camera comes
Pro
separate?
Controller, which is $85.
Why does the camera come separately?
Copy of Mario Kart World, which would be $80 if you got one. Which
Switch is honestly underpriced, really? The games are way too overpriced. Oh yeah. So, also, what's good, Andy?
Kind of a pricey box, but let's just jump in. With none other than our.
Yeah, I figured like now I'm streaming at like an actually good time for people to join.
Oh, and
so
also,
I figured like
I have
instead of doing it later, I figured I might as well just stream for a little bit now.
Because
then pack, and then, yeah, because I mean, I can't stream later. It was either like now or later.
I want to look at them next to each other. So.
Either way, it would be great, because I got to get to sleep relatively early.
Here's the Switch 2.
I'm actually getting on a better schedule now, so.
Switch 2.
And I'm actually being successful with it. Like today and yesterday, I woke up at like 7 a.m. So like, there is that.
Switch 2.
Before that, I used to be waking up at like 7 p.m.
Extra information, they always give us a little.
Like when I saw 7 on my clock, I was dead ass surprised that it was 7 a.m.
That's it.
I was like, wait,
so
no way.
First we should get into the console itself.
This camera comes to Nintendo's from like cats licking each other. Capitalists. There we go. Capitalism.
There they are.
All right.
The big new Joy-Cons.
I was gonna get the Switch 2 for my birthday, but instead I got my monitor, and I'm very happy with that. Very, very happy with that.
And then,
no, this monitor has been a fucking game changer.
Right here. It looks a little bigger every time I see it. Nice big 7.9-inch screen, thin bezels.
Hey, yo!
Sleek.
Carl Meoworks.
USB-C port on top. Got those pins on the side. We'll talk more about those in a second. But yeah, that's the console right there. But what else comes in this box here? HDMI cable. Nice. And then, of course, your 2 attachments for the Joy-Cons and the wrist straps, and that's it for here. This is a wall plug, single USB-C port on that. USB Type-C cable, so that's your charger right here. Here's your little hub to attach both Joy-Cons.
Nice.
Last but not least, the dock with the fans in it that does
Con hub.
out to the TV.
Kind of similar to Corn Hub.
With this new shape.
I'm sorry, that was so
First thing I want to do is just attach the Joy-Con.
I'm not buying the Switch 2 because it costs too much in total. That's totally fair. Like the continued cost, and even just like the little things, like any little fucking thing, like the online shit isn't the online shit like even more expensive? And there are like other little, aren't there like other little things that used to be free that they're charging for, or just like more expensive or something like that?
And then you just pull. So that's nice. I kind of wonder how durable these pins are.
Something
if
like
they're
that, I
gonna break.
forgot.
I've been told they have a little bit of give on purpose so that if you do knock up against it or drop it or something, it won't
Oh, that's
instantly
good.
break.
That's good.
Now these here are the
Oh,
little bumpers.
those do sound nice.
Because you might actually end up using these a little bit more often. At least if the games support the new feature where the Joy-Cons can be used as a mouse. These
Oh
are things-
yeah.
They're also made of plastic.
That
so
like
a
that's
little
one
bit
thing
of
about it that
give
seems
to them,
really
but they're
cool.
still pretty sturdy.
Also, wait, why are like the
And they
buttons on the
attach
top
to
like?
the Joy-Cons
Oh wait, no, never
themselves.
mind. No, there's two separate
So-
buttons, right? Okay, yeah.
Got the
It looked like
little button
one
here,
like
just like
singular
that.
button.
Hooks on the bottom. And there you go. So there's your Joy-Cons as mice and also with the bumpers on if you want
Nice.
to handhold
Nice
your
mice.
controller. Everybody's used to this experience.
Oh, yeah, like
I
a
have some
Wii.
other unboxings to get to, so
Yeah, I
I'm
like that as a
gonna
wrist
do
strap.
These two. Let's do the camera first. So some of you may remember Nintendo's Connect event where they showed this new camera. Basically, while you're doing gameplay, you hit this new C button, and it opens this share menu, and it's supposed to be this much more
Joy-Cons cost
social
fucking
console where you
76.
can
Damn, wait,
share your
each
gameplay
or
with
for a
other people
pair?
at the
Like,
same time,
I mean,
or
I remember
even
it was.
share
I remember
a
it used to be
video
like
feed of your face,
ridiculously expensive. Like I had a
which is
Switch,
overlaid
but
over the
like
gameplay to
one of the
someone else
Joy-Cons
who's
broke,
playing at the
and then
same
like
time.
I
Could be
can
cool.
never
I
afford like a
might be
full
able to
replacement.
live stream that
Even like a
feed.
replacement Joy-Con for a
If you
while.
wanna do that, but
And
this
then
is that tiny little camera.
like I got this like
And,
cheaper
yeah,
one.
it's
Like it was a model that
just
like didn't work
tiny and
wirelessly, but it still worked
as I
physically.
remember. And
But then
another
it would like
USB
still like
Type-C
keep
cable
sliding off.
for
So then
that.
I was
There's
just like,
this
fuck this.
little
I
bezel
just kind
on
of stopped
front
using it just because it was
that
just
lets you
not really fun to
manually,
use.
physically.
And then I don't
open
even
and
know where I
close
put it. I'll be
You
honest
got
with you.
That's nice. So we got our Pro Controller here.
Like I know where my
which is gonna be
GameCube is,
sick
but
for
not my
some
Switch
games.
and my
I don't
Wii
think
U.
it's for Mario Kart World, but
I got my Wii U
here
from Mark.
is your $85 Pro Controller. USB Type-C.
I need a
cable to
capture card
USB
so I can play that shit on
Type-A
stream.
the
And
other
I need
end.
game.
Oh, it's kind of heavy. It's got some weight to it that I didn't actually expect. Everything else is obviously mostly plastic, and so is this controller, but it does have this like central weight where I'm sure battery and haptics all are. So, okay. Switch 2. I'm going to put these Joy-Cons back on and fire it up for the first time. That's so much faster than before. Also, the dock here is nice because you can just, ideally, pop it in. There's a little bit of wiggle, a little bit of give. It's not too bad. This is the Switch 1 dock, which didn't really have any give at all. So I'm a little surprised to see so much wiggle. I think it's about time to start playing some games. Power button. Oh yeah. Speakers are bigger. It's crisp. English, yes. The Americas, yes. Accept the agreement, yes. Okay, about to download update data. I heard about this day one update. You can continue setting it up while the update downloads, sure. What time zone am I in? Okay. New LA, York. Last thing I want to do is just get a look at this physical game because the cartridge slot is still at the top. Where's my ridge knife? So if I were to, in the future, maybe not get the bundle at launch, but get the physical Mario Kart World game.
Testing. Wait, has it been? You're not telling me it's been off this entire time, right? Has it been off this entire fucking time? Oh, was okay, just for the last minute. Okay. At least that. Okay.
This is what one of those nice
Okay, thanks for letting me know.
cartridges is gonna look
I don't know why it just switched to my webcam mic, and I don't know why that wasn't working. It was weird.
plastic. This is a massive package for this tiny little.
I mean, it was like
This is
that
the
before
game.
too. Yeah, I don't know why
Those
they
are
do
your
all that.
pins.
I mean, I guess it's just to kind of look like a DVD thing, but they don't really
There we
need to do
go.
that.
MKBHD is logged in. Very nice.
Very nice.
More users can be added if the system will be used by other people. Good to know.
I fucking like. They updated the rhythm on the Nintendo thing to be a fucking drill beat, like the. At least like that rhythm. They modernized that shit. Listen,
There we go. MKBHD's log.
it's like a lo-fi drill beat. Sounds like a fucking like Cash Cobain type beat.
More users can be added if the system.
Actually, what do y'all think of MK World? It looks really cool to me. Mixed reception to the gameplay. I haven't heard of. I guess I haven't read too much about it, but it seems really cool. I don't know. I'm just hyped for a new Mario Kart game, considering like the last new Mario Kart game was like Mario Kart 8 Ultimate or whatever no, like 8 Deluxe. And then Mario Kart 8 legit came out for the fucking Wii U. Like, dude, that was like over 10 years ago.
Game right now, but I think the move is
$8 for Mario Kart is a scam. Yeah, not facts. Like if it was $80 like just for Mario Kart, but like cheaper for other shit, then that would make a bit more sense because it's like the flagship game. But still, like,
software updates available. It'll download now. But
I'm surprised that even for like the bundle things, they don't make you pay like an extra charge still.
It's a me.
That wasn't a smoke protector beat, was it?
This new bigger screen.
Mario Kart World. Why is Bro driving in the middle line?
7.9.
Can you not stay on your side of the fucking road?
Looks so
Bro, stay on the right side of the road. Like, damn.
Turn the speakers down.
Bro, stay out of. Just tell Bro to stay out of a school zone.
Comparing it to the other switches. So I'm gonna do that real quick, just because we actually have.
Don't let Bro near a school zone again.
So this is the Switch 1. This is my Switch 1. It's also a colorware Switch 1, so that's why it looks a little different.
Shoplift that shit
Paint
based.
all over the Joy-Cons and the back, and it looks.
I'm joking,
This
US
is the
government.
old kickstand, and this is the old Switch 1 size. This is the new Switch kickstand, and the new Switch size.
Yeah, I like the design of the new
Thickness
Switch.
is roughly the same, but obviously much.
I just wish I had
bigger screen,
OLED, bro.
Much better looking screen.
Yeah, it does look better. It does look a lot better, but like it needs OLED, bro. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. It is
Which they
yeah,
did
like
upgrade some other things on. Obviously, it's an OLED display. But
yeah, I
also
don't
it's
understand like why there's no
standard. So
OLED
this
on
is
the
difference
Switch
that
2,
we're
bro.
talking about. This is
It's
the Switch
ridiculous.
OLED on the
Like
bottom,
the OLED looks so
Switch
much
2 on the
nicer.
top.
The OLED looks so much
And
nicer.
This has happened so many times in like even the smartphone
Looks
world,
so
in the
much
tablet
nicer.
world, where we say, oh, you know, we're nerds, we're really pixel peeping, we really want to see a higher fidelity, better looking display. But at the end of the day, most people just want a bigger screen.
I guess, man.
And
But the
that's what
OLED still
Switch
has
2
that,
is
doesn't it?
delivering. We also fully expect, if we're being reasonable, there's probably going to be a Switch 2.
Nintendo's a retard, yeah.
Like 2 years.
It's retarded as
So,
can be.
I wouldn't be shocked when that shows up, and that's
Like,
gonna
they're
be more
greedy, but
expensive,
they're also
that's
they
a
can also be
bigger
very
OLED display
retarded.
That's also 120 hertz and looks amazing, and they might even do some other things that upgrade the console. Like
Switch
they
2
weren't
Joy-Con
afraid of
pair is
changing
$94
the
fucking dollars.
design
Isn't that
and some other
comparable to
things
what it
Switch
was
2
for the Switch 1 pair?
Yeah.
Because I remember a single one being like $40, $50 or something like that. Maybe I'm misremembering, but that's how I remember it, at least. 24th? What the fuck? Oh yeah, right. Aren't there like
These
32
Joy-Cons
spaces or something
are
like that?
So much better than the old ones. Here, I'll just show you. Since we have them, we can actually do the direct comparison. You have to pull the little pin in, slot it up like that. And first of all, it's larger, which does make a difference. It's a little more ergonomic. But then also every single button is bigger.
I bet you still
joystick is
still
bigger.
gonna have
I
stick drift.
saw
Still gonna have stick
there
drift, I
was
bet you.
a pre-installed
I've never
screen
had
protector
stick drift really.
on the
Like
Switch, and it's
I
true.
do have a little bit
You
of stick
can
drift
see it.
on
I'm gonna get a macro shot of it.
Oh no,
so
I
you
don't
can
think
see
I
what
have
I'm
stick drift.
seeing.
No, it's actually just like
But
my
they
boy. I
say
think that was my boy's
don't move.
Xbox, not mine.
And
Not my
now that I've seen
PlayStation.
the instructions, okay, I won't. But if you want to install one on top of it, that's cool too. Like Dbrand has a Prism screen protector you can install on top of this one, and that will hold it. And
Bro, is this
protect
too
whatever's
fucking slow?
underneath. Now,
Oh,
one of
for
the
what?
big
Just for
Switch 2
watching this?
talking points, which I mentioned
Just
in
like
that
in
last
general?
video, was that game that essentially acts as a tutorial.
Oh
to
yeah,
learn
this is
Switch.
ridiculous. Don't you
It
have to
doesn't
pay for
come
this
with
shit?
it.
That's
It's not
so
free.
retarded. Like no
It's
one's
not
gonna buy
cheap.
it. No one's gonna buy
There
that
are
shit.
some
If you have to
built-in
pay for it
tutorial
and it doesn't come with it, why would anyone buy it? Why would anyone buy it? I don't understand.
Select next and follow the on-screen guides.
No one's gonna buy that shit.
Bumper on.
Switch 1 Joy-Cons are charging $80. Yep. Yeah. Like I'm surprised they're not charging 100. for a pair, honestly.
There it is.
Like,
Immediately. So
hate to say it, but like,
I am using.
yeah, pair for 90. I'm surprised it's not more, but I mean, still, it's insane. For the one, it was even more insane.
Select using that top button. So it works pretty well. I think there's going to be a couple of games that do immediately support this out the box, but it's probably not something a lot of them are expecting to use. Like I did that wheelchair soccer game when I was doing the demo when I first tried to switch to, and it worked pretty well, but
DI soccer.
other games end up using that. So for those wondering what the rest of the home screen stuff looks like, because this is also something we haven't seen.
DI game.
Looks pretty familiar. Got your picture up at the top because that's your account.
Don't clip that out of
Make sure
context.
I'll
I'm
put my
joking.
friend code so nobody spams me. But then of course your games, and then underneath, game chat's in there. Settings are in here.
Please tell me there's a dark mode on here.
Go to, let's see. Can I change my display refresh rate?
There better be a dark mode on there.
Resolution is automatic.
Scroll down, bro.
Up to
I don't know why
4K,
bro cannot hear me.
So it doesn't look like I can up to 4K, which is great.
Just screen size. What the fuck?
So
Okay, I can't really
like
see
I
it.
can
Yo, that was good,
decide
Bobby.
to go
How you
down
doing?
To 60 hertz. This is for just TV. Yeah, I feel like these new Joy-Cons are almost as much of an upgrade as the new screen. Just having these huge new buttons.
I don't know if it's an upgrade over the
Joy-Con
OLED
bigger,
though. It's kind of an
ergonomically
almost
it's better,
kind of. I guess in
haptics are
some
better.
ways it's an upgrade. I think isn't it like a higher refresh or something?
But yeah, it
But,
is
like,
much better to game. On
In
the
appearance, it
individual
can't be that.
Joy-Con than
It
new
can't
ones.
really be an
The thing about
upgrade because
Switch
I remember
2,
the
it wasn't
OLED.
really that much
The
of an
OLED
upgrade.
looked
Is that
really
you have
good.
to game on it. It's gonna feel different because of the Joy-Cons just as much as the screen. So here's all three switches all lined up next to each other. Switch 1, OG. Switch OLED, new kickstand, OLED screen. Switch 2. Obviously the biggest difference is just that it's bigger. I mean, just as my first impression, the bigger Joy-Cons make...
Oh yeah, like the whole
difference,
thing is
so
bigger,
most
right?
People are gonna enjoy bigger Joy-Cons and bigger...
Yeah, that is
screens.
nice. That is
We
nice.
also are
That
expecting
is
an
nice.
OLED version later.
Although there were
I'm
advantages to
gonna
having
get
the
into much
smaller
more
console
detail
though,
in
the smaller
full
footprint.
review, but also, if
There
you're
were
considering
advantages to having the
Switch
small
2,
footprint,
you're probably
definitely.
also thinking about getting a case. In which case, you should consider the Kill Switch by channel sponsor Dbrand. So this is the Kill Switch case. Also,
Full name.
it looks
All
like
right.
Dbrand left a note. Which
Oh yeah, I have a
says,
Dbrand
we
case
have
on
a
my
lot of
phone.
features
No,
that
I'm
are
not
all pretty
sponsored.
important that you can
But hey,
check out.
Dbrand sponsored me, bro. I love this case.
I'll try. So this is the case. It's got this
The
super
fuck? Oh,
rigid
it's like a storage
travel
case. I was
cover,
gonna say.
crush-proof. You can just toss this thing around, which is great. But then with this little bungee, which is kind of sick.
That looks
you take
like
the cover off,
pretty.
and inside you'll notice there are 10 slots. Magnetic
cool,
holders
but-
for your games.
Oh, magnetic.
Just take the games with
Magnetic?
You. And then even once you got the cover off,
I mean,
it's
that
still
looks
protected
like
and you have
I
full
had
access
like
to the
multiple
kickstand,
cases like
which
that
is
for my
sick.
fucking
It's
3DS. I
fully
can't even lie.
removable Joy-Cons,
Like,
unlike
kinda
a lot of
similar
other
to that, at
cases.
least.
And
Shitting on a ton
Joy-Cons
different
have
means
this
stupid, yeah.
ergonomic back on
Not-
them as
Dbrand's
well,
good,
which
but-
is kind of killer. So now the
This is-
Joy-Cons
alright.
bigger and more comfortable to hold.
Is that what?
Kinda
Is
like
that
a
more
real
comfortable?
mouse in the
I
hand.
guess,
You just
right?
put
Oh
the
yeah,
buttons
right.
on and use it as a mouse.
Oh yeah, right. I guess that makes
And
sense.
then for
Yeah.
docking,
No,
Dbrand
facts.
includes a dock adapter with
Docking.
every kill switch. Pops in like that.
Oh,
So all
that's
you gotta do
nice,
is
that's
place the
nice.
kill switch on the front tray.
Well, then
connect it,
the
and
back of
your
the dock
is
is
full
pointless
focus to
now.
pass through,
It's just
and the dock
it's just
fan
to hold it
still
up.
holds the dock normally. And I haven't even touched on the durability, the build quality, the materials. This thing is a tank. So yeah, if you're gonna travel with your Switch, highly recommended. And if you want to grab one for $35 off, I'll have a link down below in the description.
35 off. How much
it.
is it?
Thanks for watching this first impressions. Let me know what you want to see in the full review, what games I should play first of all, which experiences I should use Game Share with, using the camera with, using the Pro Controller with, because I want to be pretty thorough. But this is a first look at the newest console from Nintendo. Thanks for watching.
What's
Get
good, the
subscribed
collector?
for that stuff. Catch you in the next one. Peace.
Peace. Hell yeah. Alright, let's do 20 reps of my other arm, bruh. I ain't gonna lie, I thought that video was longer. What? I ain't gonna lie, I'm not watching a podcast. But maybe there's another MKBHD video, but I stayed pretty caught up with this shit. Oh, I have not seen this.
There is a growing movement over the past couple years that at first seems kind of backwards, but then the more you think about it, it actually does start to make a lot of sense. It's dumb phones. A phone that just goes back to the basics and does exactly what you need and nothing more. 'Cause
What's good,
clearly you
JPT?
spend less time staring at these colorful glowing boxes and go outside and touch grass. Right? So, okay, it's 2025. Smartphones do everything. They're amazing, and they have been for a while. And I think we all agree that they're a net positive for humanity. They're incredible at connecting people across the globe. They give us access to information everywhere. They've revolutionized modern photography. They've created entire new economies around them. Amazing. But along with all of that good comes some trade-offs, naturally. And one of the biggest ones is that they're designed to keep your attention and to be addicting. There are apps that literally their sole purpose is to maximize
I'm
your
subscribed.
screen time,
Oh, what?
to
Oh.
send you distracting notifications, to hook you back in, and just give you little strategic hits of dopamine here and there to keep you plugged in as long as possible. So the idea is simple. What if we just took all of that extra stuff and took it out of the smartphone and just left you with exactly what you need? And if that sounds familiar, it's because I talked about this in depth in my book's Palma review. I'll link it below that like button if you want to check that out. But yeah, this concept isn't exactly
Sorry, I'm just playing
This
around with my
particular
fucking
phone is the most
scroll
interesting
wheel.
version
I got a
I've
little
seen
distracted.
yet. This feels like if someone was assigned the task of designing a dumb phone that a smartphone lover like me would still be tempted to use.
I want to see it.
Then
You cut your hair? Yes, sir.
it's
No, I got a pretty big
absolutely
cut, actually. Got a pretty short on the side.
So,
Pretty short on the top, too.
Light Phone 3. So,
Yeah.
in the spectrum of dumb phones, this one is definitely the most
Got a
premium
repermed and shit,
feeling
too.
one. Like, this is the one that will.
Not gonna lie, I was
feel
gonna
most
just get a
at
root
home
perm
for a regular smartphone.
instead of like
So
getting
maybe you've
all
seen
my
some of
hair
the others in this
repermed, because it's
category,
only been
the
like
Books Palma.
it's only been like 2 months since I last got my all my shit permed. But like I was supposed to just get a root perm, but then I think they must have not gotten the memo, and then they just started fucking doing the whole thing. So then I was just like, fuck it, we're already here. Like, and then yeah, I mean, but hey, I still got all my hair, and it still feels moisturized. It still feels fine. I haven't really had any hair loss more than the usual.
Now the Books Palma 2
I've been good.
testing, or even this one. This is
No, I've been
called
getting
the
some
Minimal
compliments
Phone,
on it,
which
so
has an
I am,
unique display
and
as
I
well
like
and
it,
a
so I'm
physical
happy with
keyboard.
it.
There was also the Light Phone 2 and the Light Phone 1 before this, but the Light Phone 3 I was immediately drawn to. It's not e-ink. This is an OLED display under matte glass.
Oh,
and it's wrapped in this
oh.
all metal body. So it's this
Ooh,
cool
that's
little all
pretty.
black box with big clicky buttons around it.
That's
The bottom of the front here is this
nice.
large speaker grill,
That
which
is
goes back
nice.
to the HTC
Ooh, I
108
actually would
days.
like that.
And on the left side,
Ooh,
is
I
actually
would
this
like
nice
that.
dial that rotates. Like, this is nice. It's got these nice flat sides, obviously. The
See, that
buttons
is
are
something I could actually roll
clicky
with.
and built well. The whole thing, it's just nice to hold. And so then it's got this button on top you use to turn it on, and then you hit
Can
that
you
button
play
to go
music
into
on
the
there?
UI, and it's this nice, clean UI, all black background. Thin white text.
Like, if
just
you
the
could play
time,
like
the battery
Apple
at the
Music,
top.
Spotify,
And
or
like I
something
said,
there.
this
I was
button on
comments
the
all saying
right
skipping
always
screen.
takes
Anyway, I was
you
waiting for
on,
that.
and this is your UI, just text labels of the different essential
I just
things
need to
that it
stretch.
does. This is the part where I age myself. And
She
I
looks
ask if
still
anyone else
shit.
remembers
Always
the
does look a
Zoom
little
HD.
crazy when I wear a
If you don't,
tank
do yourself
top.
a favor,
A Mugnus.
Google it real quick. Pull up another tab.
I'm not
Check
googling
that
it.
out. You
Oh
might
yeah,
have
I do
one,
remember
but you
that.
can't
I
have
do
one
remember
because
that.
It's 16 years old. To close that tab,
What?
come back here.
You can
Okay.
buy them used
This
though.
is the primo and minimal.
eBay
phone
exists, bro.
experience.
What?
Even nice little touches like this dial on the left-hand side. If you turn that, that's your brightness adjustment anytime you want.
Oh, that's cool.
And then if you push it in, that turns on the flashlight. It's convenient. And then it does have a SIM card tray right here, so you can make phone calls and save contacts. And then you
Big
can
as hell.
see the other things it's capable of course, setting alarms.
Camera? What the
Everybody
fuck?
needs that. There's a calculator and a calendar. There's a camera, which, as you can see, activates the single camera on the back. It's got this
Oh, shit.
dedicated two-stage shutter button.
It looks
Now,
like
it's
the
not a good
refresh rate
camera,
is like
but it
30
is a camera.
30 frames a
You can't
second.
change aspect ratio
on a
or
phone.
resolution or do portrait
Bruh.
mode or anything like that, but it is
A camera.
definitely a camera. I scroll to my second page, and you can see I have the Maps app, which actually does turn-by-turn directions, walking or driving. And there's also a pop that
Bro,
does
bro hit his address, but still show the exact
turn-by-turn
directions.
directions,
Like-
walking.
Bro, head southeast on John Miller Way. I mean, okay, I'm not gonna fully dox, bro, but like, yep, Kearney, New Jersey. I know he said he lives there before. Oh, and that is a very short road. I mean, also we could see if that's like the field where he feel. Oh yeah, yep. I know he does all of his autofocus shit right here. Yep. This is the spot, I think. I think it's. Oh wait, maybe not. It's somewhere around here, I think. I mean, hey, he put it here. Oh wait, I think it's over here. Yeah, Wait, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It does look vaguely familiar. And probably like some of these bushes around here are probably the ones that he comes out of at the beginning of like his autofocus reviews. It's cool. There's a track like running through here. Oh, you can see there's tracks that all even used to run down the road here. That's cool. I think that's what used to be here. Anyway, I'm getting distracted.
Or driving. And
How
there's
tall are you? I'm 6 foot.
So a
on the dot.
podcast experience, which is super.
You would know about
basic,
Sensei
that's all.
doxing yourself?
Functional.
Nah, I would know nothing about that. I would know nothing about that.
To this. Now, if you ever want to add or remove any apps, you actually can't do that on the phone.
Yeah,
You can
I
do it
am
with them,
6
but if you ever
foot.
want to add or remove any, you have to go to the online dashboard.
6 foot
and this
nothing.
gets set up right when you get the light phone. But through here, you can click into the toolbox section, and then you can add or remove tools from the toolbox. That's what they call it. So the ones I don't have on this phone here are directory, which is a contacts list.
Oh, there is
Hotspot,
music. Okay.
Music, notes, and timer.
Okay.
And if I wanted to add one, all I do is click
But
on
the
it,
music,
hit
I'm curious if the
install,
music
and
is just
appear
like
on
an
the phone in
MP3
a couple
player,
seconds.
like an old school type
And
MP3 player, or if you could
I
stream shit.
love the idea of this.
If you
This
could
is such
stream
a neat-
music on
just
it,
a neat little
I
piece of
and then I could do
hardware.
this.
It's-
I could
well, it's
actually do this. I could
conversation
roll with
starter,
this.
too. Like if you
I
ask
could roll
me,
with this.
like I said, to design
Honestly, a
mobile
mobile
phone
wallet
piece
would
of
make it even
hardware,
better.
it's
Like that
half
would
the size of a
that would make
normal
it the
phone.
best.
It's just a nice thing to hold. I like this. I like this a lot. And e-ink was cool on a lot of those other minimal phones because obviously the legendary battery life and that readability and all those other conditions.
Oh
But
yeah,
I
and the
actually
Kindle and
think
whatnot.
I
remember when
prefer
e-ink was
this
like the
in
shit.
most indoor lighting situations anyway. It's
Not
just-
like
it
yeah,
feels
not
more
OLED.
premium and it can do
OLED
all
with
the same
a
stuff. But yet, there is
matte
no
matte like
feels
display
more-
cover is nice as fuck. What the fuck is that? He probably showed it before, but what the hell is this with like a keyboard? Like what year are we in,
premium
bro?
and it can do all the same stuff. But yet, there is no TikTok. There is no Twitter.
You know one phone? Okay,
There's
I'm sorry,
no
I keep interrupting. One phone that was really fucking slept on because I used to be like really into smartphones, like really into that shit, like in middle school and like 5th, 6th, 7th grade, like especially 5th, 6th grade. I was really into that shit. So like, what was it? I remember when this shit came out. BlackBerry Priv. This shit was so slept on. This was like after BlackBerry was like really that big of a thing, and like this is after they kind of just like gave up on their own operating system and switched over to Android. This phone was fucking good as hell. Shit even had like a curved screen on the sides. When it was retracted, it looked really nice. It felt nice in the hand. Like it was nice to use. The keyboard was good to use, and it slides out. So like if you didn't even want to use it, you didn't have to. And like what was it? There was something else that was like really nice. Oh yeah, it had an OLED screen. It looked really nice. That's curved screen. I think that has to be OLED. But there's something else. Oh yeah, right. And it has a front-facing speaker, which got like really fucking loud. I remember that. Like that was that was cool as fuck. Hold on, fuck it. We could even rewatch this. This is the MKBHD video about it. Rest up BlackBerry. Nah,
There's
facts.
no email.
Rest in peace,
There's no
BlackBerry
web-
Torch was a goated phone. That was like one of my mom's first like smartphones. Like
browser.
touch screen.
There
Like
are
it
no
was touchscreen,
third-party
but like
apps.
this shit. If you know, you know. Hold on. I remember when they were like. I still remember when I was even seeing like ads for this shit around, bro. Yeah, this one, the one with the keyboard. I don't even know why they sold the version without the keyboard. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, like, nah, this shit was goated, bro. I remember I used to play fucking Swipe Brick Breaker. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, it wasn't goated. Like, it was. I remember always thinking like, I wish my mom had an iPhone. But grass is always green on the other side type shit. But I did enjoy it while it lasted. I never had one of my own. It was because it was before I could even own a smartphone, or I could even own a phone myself. I was too young. But
No
when a
notifications.
person died,
text
just
calls.
the phone.
I will never waste my time on this phone. Unfortunately, once you actually try to use this phone, that is the exact moment that it goes from being a really cool idea to really frustrating.
I had a feeling.
So, okay, let's say I'm at the studio and I have a calendar event in an hour in the city and I want to navigate there. I can actually put a location in the calendar event, but I can't click on it.
Yeah, the BlackBerry
navigate.
Priv
So you might
2
think,
was
okay,
mid
just
as fuck.
copy
I remember
and
when
paste
that dropped.
This
It
one
was
doesn't seem to
not
have
it.
copy
It was
and
such
paste
like
either.
a mid
So
follow up.
you
Oh, it
gotta go
failed.
ahead and
Cherry rig
manually
everything
flip
shit
over
miserably.
to the directions app
Yeah, the
and then
2
start
was
clicking
ass.
away. And good luck, because there's
Because
no
like the
autocorrect
keyboard didn't
either.
retract. It
So
had a
you wanna
shitty
double-check and
LCD
get this
screen.
address
Like all
exactly
the
right.
cool
There's
shit.
no multitasking feature to help
Wait,
you
what?
out.
There wasn't
If
too.
I go
What the
to
fuck?
pay for something,
I
on the
literally
mobile
remember there being a
bistro while
two.
I'm there, I can't pay with my mobile wallet.
I literally
like
remember
would
there
with
being
a
another one.
smartphone, even though it does actually have NFC. Okay, not a big
Oh
deal,
right, it was
but
called the
it's
Key
like
One,
a
right?
physical card, and also the vibration
It,
meter is pretty
it
bad.
was pretty much like a
Also,
second.
that top button
Right,
was
it was like
supposed
it
to
might as
be
well have
a
been.
fingerprint reader to
Right,
lock
I
your
remember it
mouth as
looked
well,
nice, but like
that
it
doesn't
looked
work yet.
nice.
I also would have
It
liked
felt
a
it felt
nice
really
scroll
nice in the
animation
hand,
between pages,
but
just as a subtle
like
nod to maybe even
I don't like
like
that the
Zoom HD,
keyboard
use
is
nice scrolling
always there,
physics.
and like
It is
in the
OLED
modern
as well,
age, in the modern
maybe
age,
scrolling is
a
too
smaller
triggering, or it just
screen
feels like
and
it
with the
reminds you
big with
of
the big
TikTok, so
keyboard is
don't do
not it,
that.
bro.
There
It's
is
not it.
no ebook
The Prib was
reader
way
at
better.
all, which maybe just
Because like
feels like it's
if you didn't
missing
want the
because
keyboard,
so
you
many
didn't
other
have to
dumb
use it.
phones do have reader apps.
And this doesn't
But I
have
guess
like
it's
the
a
real
natural fit
like it
on all
has
of those
it just
because
has the
most of them
earpiece. It
are
doesn't have the
OLED
front
displays
facing
that are perfect for reading. But
speaker.
I don't know, why can't I have a reader on this one? It has
Sorry, I know I keep
podcasts,
talking over this
it
shit,
has
but
music. This single camera here it's a 50 megapixel sensor, which bins down to 12, and there are no settings for shooting full 50 megapixel resolution, or changing the resolution to anything else at all.
fuck, we're just doing a
Or
tech
aspect
stream this
ratio,
one. Because I mean, I'm only
focal
I'm only streaming for
just flash
half hour,
exposure.
so this will probably
And I know
be
the photos aren't
these
good,
will probably
but
be
if
most
I
of
do
the
need to send them to
take up most of the rest of the
this
stream.
phone doesn't support RCS, so I'd be sending
Oh, what
them
the fuck?
in an ultra compressed.
Oh, that's
not
some bullshit.
unencrypted
Oh
message
hell no!
instead.
Like
That
that is
to me
like
all
what that's what people
two-factor
think of when they
authentication.
like when iPhone users hear like a picture, how about like a picture taken on an Android. That's what they think it looks like.
Using this would have to be done via
Like this
peer-to-peer
unironically looks like that.
SMS, because there's no authenticator apps here, obviously. And I also happen to have a bunch of other conversations happening in other messaging apps, WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord, Slack. I can't have any of those conversations here. And I also happen to use Spotify for my music. And so I'm really not trying to move all of those playlists and all of those songs manually to this app. I would have liked some kind of Spotify support or something like that.
Yeah.
Hang
Oh
on.
yeah. Wait. Yeah. Wait. What the fuck?
Happy
It's just
Stations
MP3.
app. I also
Yeah,
have
that's
those
bullshit.
playlists for me. There are
That's
things that
bullshit.
I need it to do that it isn't capable of.
iPhone
Like, I
used to be
use
talking mad
to-do
shit for a
list
platform
apps
with a lower
and
quality
bullet
camera.
journal
Yeah,
and
no
other
facts.
apps on my phone every day. So I need more. But the more I ask for it to do, the more I'm just going
Like
back
it's a
to
really good
turning
quality
into a
camera.
regular
Like,
smartphone.
iPhone cameras are
So a
really
really
good,
big
but there are
part of
Android
the
cameras that
review
are
process
just a
for
bit
this phone
like
for
just a
me
bit
has
better.
been trying to figure out.
And I
Is
know
this
Apple,
phone really
like
slow?
Apple's the video function on Apple cameras, I think is like, I don't know if it's still like this, but I do remember like a few years ago, people have been saying this like from most iPhone releases that like the photo camera would either be like the best in the game or the best in the game for like a couple months till a better one comes out, like a better Android phone comes out, or it would be like almost the best in the game except for like a couple Android phones, except for the video. I know the video was like always better. I don't know if it's still like that though.
Supposed to be
Android
your
camera. What the fuck you are the Android?
only smartphone that you carry. Or, if we're being honest, is it more just like you do have this as like your main phone, but you also carry like another smartphone? And
I remember when iPhones were 4-digit. Nah, same. Yeah, like
everywhere you go. Because
budget phones now
that's
are like
two very different ways of
$800.
looking at
Like,
this.
dude, I remember this fucking Jax Films video. This was so funny. He made this song iPhone 5. Like it was like a parody video about like the iPhone 5. And at the I'm just gonna skip to the end of it. Hold on. Let's gonna skip. Yeah.
And it costs $400.
Hold on, wait, yeah, like
And it costs
wait.
They saw the women holler.
iPhone 5.
And it costs
Yeah.
$400. See you next.
Yeah, like that's legit a steal nowadays. Like that is actually like a fucking deal. And inflation, like there has been inflation, but it hasn't been that much, bro. Like
Product. And maybe just because I can't.
I
use
can't believe
this on my
$400
phone
bucks used to
doesn't
be
mean other people
expensive.
couldn't. Like,
Expensive.
Maybe this could be for
crazy shit.
a kid who, this is their first smartphone, and their parents are getting this for them. So that they
Okay, I
can-
mean I think we kind of get the point about this phone. I'm curious about this.
Hey, what is up, guys? So BlackBerry doesn't make that many phones anymore. but
300
this is their newest one. It's
zillion
called the
Mexican
BlackBerry
pesos for
Priv.
Nokia.
This is a smartphone
Yeah,
made by
pretty much.
BlackBerry, right?
Oh yeah,
But it
this is
runs
not. Yeah, this is
Android.
this is the BlackBerry
I said
Priv.
before, it would take a lot for me to actually
Yeah, like the
review
plastic build, this wasn't the best, but I mean, at the time, that was a bit more normal. That was the only big shortcoming of it, I remember. If it had like the better feeling build of the Key 1, which is pretty much like Priv 2, their naming scheme was ass, but like their Android phones pretty much. If it had like the better physical feeling bit, like if it felt better in the hand, I think it honestly would have sold better. Like if it felt more premium, because everything else about it was very premium.
BlackBerry. But this one,
What the fuck is bro in the back doing?
No, seriously, it's not bad.
I
at
mean,
all.
that's
So
yes,
right
I know
off the
that's
top, for a
him too.
BlackBerry,
But
this phone is quite nice. It's my
oh yeah, it
favorite
could stand up
BlackBerry
on its
ever.
own. That's
But
cool.
in the
Well,
vast
is that
array
saying
of
a lot,
smartphones
man?
out
Like,
now,
is that really
I'd say
saying
it's
a lot?
pretty middle of the road average.
Yeah,
First of
9
all,
years
with the
ago.
build,
Yeah, so 9 years
quite
ago
a
is
few things going
2015
for it.
now.
Obviously,
I mean,
it's a
technically
vertical
that's 10 years
slider,
ago,
so
but
that's pretty
November.
unique as far as smartphones go. But when
Now,
the keyboard
yeah,
is
at that
closed, it's
time.
actually pretty clean.
Even then.
The carbon fiber look all the way around the body,
Yeah.
the squared off top and bottom.
Yeah, it did
and the
look cool,
texture,
but
the
like,
material
yeah,
itself
see
is actually
nowadays,
really grippy.
yeah, see, grippy. I call it that because it's grippy. Okay, anyway, well, yeah, no, like that was like a plastic build was a lot more normal then. Like even like the fucking like when did the Galaxy S5 come out? Yeah, 2014. Yeah, so like up until 2015, like this year, all the Samsung flagships had a plastic build. Like all of them had a plastic build. 2015 was the first year that Samsung flagships started to also have like the glass and metal like sandwich design that like every smartphone nowadays has.
Both on the back and on the rails on the sides too. So this is the
Like
phone
when they
that
made the
does not
S6
need a skin
micro
or a
SD
case.
port.
It's never slid out of my pocket
micro
once.
SD port.
Never slid off a desk. It's probably the most secure
Yeah,
feeling.
that is one really nice part about like plasticky phones. Like that's one big thing that we've definitely lost with
I've
glass
ever held.
glass back
It's got the
phones.
power button on the left and the trio of buttons on the right. So volume up.
We should bring
volume
back
down,
metal
and
phones,
the
like
toggle for
metal
volume
back
control
phones.
reminds
Like
me
who
of the
uses
Blackberries.
wireless charging?
And there's also
I know
a
some people do,
front-facing
but
speaker
like,
actually on the
come
bottom
on,
too.
like
Now it's really
that and
barely an average.
all the
speaker.
dust
It's pretty weak as
accumulating
far as
there.
quality goes,
Maybe that's a bit of a
but
weakness.
It's facing the user, so it's still better than.
Oh,
anything
okay. So I guess maybe it's not the great camera, not the great speaker that I remember it being. But yeah, I guess yeah, it is facing the user.
And then right above that speaker
Fuck is wireless charging? Exactly.
is a lip for.
And I guarantee you're like what? Like tell me like what phone do you have? Or like if it's not an iPhone, what phone do you have? Because I guarantee it has wireless charging. But yeah, like I can tell you've never used it.
Keyboard, and that's where you can slide it open and close.
Most
with
people
one
don't.
hand. And I got used to this motion
Because
in a matter
wired
of
charging
minutes,
is more
and over
convenient
the course of
and
weeks of
better.
using the device, it
Except for
felt
like
correct
phone
pretty
mounts in
quickly.
cars.
The
That's like
spring
the only
mechanism
thing
for
they're good
opening
for.
it
It's good
is
for.
Solid, feels durable and
Works
confident
until
when
it
the phone
doesn't.
is
Exactly.
open
Like
and
MagSafe on iPhones is good. Like especially for like phone like car mounts and shit like that. That is really good because it magnetically mounts. But like any kind of wireless charging besides MagSafe, like I'm surprised it took them that long to fucking invent some fucking like magnetic rings in the already a magnetic thing. Hey, that rhymes. To like just make it latch on better because in the past, and still like how it is now for like every other regular wireless charger, you have to like align it perfectly, which is like impossible. So like even though it would charge slow even if it was at like the perfect spot. But if it's not at the perfect spot, it's going to charge a bit slower because it's not as efficient. So it's it's so bad. Fucking S23. Oh yeah, it definitely has wireless charging. It actually probably has fast wireless charging. It probably does. But even then, just do wired charging. If you have the regular S23, you probably have like, you probably have like really fast wired charging, I'd assume. S23 fast charging. Yeah, super fast charging. Yeah, like. Yeah, okay. Well, let's see if I'm done another brand because Samsung's probably gonna say literally any. Okay, yeah, any charger that supports that shit. Like Power Delivery 3, that's most chargers you'll see. Yeah, like 45-watt charger, probably like some Anker shit. That's not the plug I have. If it's 45 watts, then it can then that's good. But if it's less than 45 watts, then hey, you should get a 45-watt one. I mean, hey, it'll charge it faster. But then again, if that doesn't really matter to you, if it doesn't really, if like a fast charge doesn't really matter to you, then yeah, then it doesn't matter to you. I wouldn't invest in it.
Balanced when it's open, when the weight is spread
Oh,
out.
your charging
Doesn't
port
feel
got messed
top
up. It's not
heavy at
supporting
all.
fast charge.
My
Okay,
only
well
complaint
then,
with the
yeah, then I
build
would not do
is
it. I mean,
the
yeah, you
back cover
can't take
material.
advantage
I
of
feel
it.
like since it's sealed in phone, you could use whatever material you want. but the back just feels soft and thin and kind of flexes.
Yeah,
Now,
that's
on
the thing.
paper,
That
again, this
didn't
is
feel nice.
The best BlackBerry ever.
On the
Snapdragon
front,
808
from the
chip, 2
front,
gigabytes
it
of
looks
RAM,
really nice.
32 gigs of internal storage, but that's also expandable inside. A 3,410 milliamp hour battery with wireless charging and
Expandable
quick
storage.
charging,
Ah, the
and
days.
a
The good old
5.4-inch
days.
Quad HD
Damn,
AMOLED
that
display
old
with
Instagram
slightly
logo,
curved
bro.
edges on both sides. Now, among the other top smartphones, it's kind of sitting mid to high end, but still refreshing to see this in a
I remember
BlackBerry.
that. Yeah, that was
So the
soon
battery
after like
life I
Apple
got
Music was like
meh,
brand new.
decent,
And
like
yeah, Apple
B-
Music. I think they
territory.
had
I was
it on
getting barely
Android like
3
since
hours
the
of screen
beginning.
on
I
time,
think.
and the
I
screen
remember when it
itself
was new.
is pretty good. Not
That was
the
when I
best
first got a
Quad
streaming
HD
platform.
AMOLED
Apple
display
Music was
I've
the first
seen,
one I got.
which is sort of a weird statement to make now, but it's true.
Like when
And
it
it's still
first
plenty
dropped.
sharp, but could be brighter and a bit more saturated. But it's a quality panel. And all of
Mod,
this
show me this
under
guy's
all
cock.
the BlackBerry logos and hardware, it runs Android 5.1 under the hood. And it's actually pretty close to stock.
Android
I wouldn't really
5.1.
call
What
it
are
a
we now?
spin,
Like,
more of a
what's the newest Android model? I mean, Android model. Jesus Christ. Newest Android version. Verizon. Newest Android Verizon. 15. Damn. Okay, yeah.
Android with a bunch of BlackBerry enhancements.
I mean, the newest
and added
iOS is going to be
features.
called iOS 26. True story. Like, that is true. It was supposed to be called 19, but they're changing it to be kind of like how car model years work. So, like, the year after type shit. Like, it's weird, but that's how they're doing it now.
Thrown in.
Because I think they're doing that so like all the numbers for like all of their OSs can be the same. Yeah, like it makes more sense than like the iPhone 10, like when they made like iPhone X/iPhone 10, like when they skipped the iPhone 9, because like that was just because they just wanted to get to 10. I think it's also the 10th anniversary. Actually, never mind, that does make sense. But I think this also does make sense, but it's still weird. Everyone's gonna make memes about it, and honestly, rightfully so. It is still funny. It is still odd.
does with their Moto X.
Alec is
Kind of where
what's good,
BlackBerry
Mr.
goes to
Intern?
town. They added a ton of stuff, mixing in classic older BlackBerry features with new stuff in Android. So you can swipe up from the bottom to not just get Google Now, but also
Some of this shit is a
BlackBerry
throwback.
Device Search and BlackBerry Hub. I found Google Now does a pretty good job of searching.
Google
devices
Now,
anyway,
damn,
but
I remember
didn't
that.
use BlackBerry Hub that much because it's sort of overwhelming. It's a collection of all of your notifications from email and Twitter, etc. Everything.
Damn,
shows
what
up
the
there.
fuck? That looks like ass. That just looks like a fucking like shitty email app. I would not
Use
want to be
icon
scrolling
packs
through
from the
that.
Play Store in the custom launcher. It's not Google Launcher, but it's very similar.
Hmm,
Plus,
that
this
does look-
feature.
that
And it
looks
also
pretty
has
nice.
a feature called pop-up widgets, which lets you swipe up from certain icons on your home screen to just show their widgets. And this is already sort of a feature in some other third-party Android launchers, but hey, it's built in now here, and it's occasionally pretty useful, especially I guess for music and media apps. There's also a redesigned, slightly crazy-looking multitasking tray with like different
Hold on,
apps
y'all.
of different sizes.
Sorry.
Not sure why, but that's the way it is. And you also now have double
here it
tap
is.
to wake, but no double tap to sleep. I always say this. I think every phone that has the option to double tap to wake should also let you double tap to sleep.
What?
It also sorts your
No.
notifications in
No.
the tray so you can target
No.
certain apps when
What?
you have multiple notifications.
No.
from apps. And
Like,
over
bro,
here-
there's a lot of functions that you would double tap for. Or just like, let's say you're just like, that would be such a pain. No, like, that would be such a pain. Imagine a phone had that and you couldn't turn it off. And then, like, every time you, like, double tap on something, or, like, you tapped on something and you accidentally tapped a second time. Or, like, you just, like, something's not working, so, like, you just kind of, like, out of frustration, just, like, tap again type shit. And it just fucking locks your phone every time. That would piss me off.
here on the
Come on,
side
Nip
of your
Slip.
curved display is what's called the productivity
You'll probably,
tab.
it will
You
probably
swipe in from the
happen.
side, kinda like
These
the
are
tab
pretty
on the
big
Galaxy S6
armholes,
Edge,
so.
and it shows full screen calendar events, contacts, tasks,
Double tap
all
is doubly
sorts of stuff.
frustrating, yeah.
I kind of wish I could throw in some app shortcuts in there, but that would take a software update. It also throws in this sweet charging
That is pretty
indicator
nice.
and ambient display, since it's an AMOLED display and it can do these things
Nice.
without using much battery.
That is
And
nice.
pretty much all these new additions are pretty intuitive and clean and easy to figure out. What's weird though is that despite that pretty solid set of specs we talked about,
Love how
this
it
guy
had,
has more
love how it had an always-on display, and Apple only got that shit like 2 fucking years ago. Like,
itches than
that's
a normal
iPhone for
Android
you.
phone. I
This-
found
this
animations
video was in
slowing down a bit
2015.
and dropping a little frames.
And always-on
more than
things
I'd
were-
wanna see
always-on
out of a
displays were a
Snapdragon
thing,
808 device,
I think
especially
even
when
years before
multitasking and
this.
web browsing and switching between a bunch of stuff. It's funny because gaming and intense stuff was perfectly fine. Graphics held up and it didn't drop any frames. Everything was
Oh, shit.
totally smooth. But for some reason, the quicker, lighter stuff actually took some hits, and it definitely got
Yeah, like I
warm.
did notice
It
some
never
lag spikes,
overheated or
like
anything,
in
but I
some
could
basic
definitely
shit
feel
earlier.
it in that thin back
Ooh.
after extended use. Now, I'm
W
sure
Logic
software
album.
updates, including an update to Marshmallow, hopefully, will fix a lot of these issues and even
I
extend
miss
battery
those.
life
I
a bit
miss
with
those
Dope.
like candy and like dessert themed Android names. Like it was just
But
kind
for
of
now,
fun.
that's
What's
my
good,
experience.
FD55?
And then, since it is a BlackBerry after all, there's
Oh, yeah,
a
I'm probably just gonna
focus
stream for
on
like
the
15-ish more
keyboard
minutes.
and the typing experience. So the software.
All right, let's move
keyboard
on. We
is
can
pretty
let's move
good.
on to the next one. I just wanted to just briefly see that shit because it's an old ass phone. The worst hot takes in tech. This should be interesting. I don't think I've seen this. Do I not have a water here, bro? You gotta be kidding me. Come on, man.
So I've been on the internet for a long time, and most of it, at least where I hang out, pretty reasonable, which is great. But, you know, there are some tucked away in the corners every once in a while that do have some pretty controversial opinions, things that they actually believe in, some hot takes that are guaranteed to ruffle some feathers. But sometimes there is some truth to them. So today I've gathered some of the hottest takes from around the internet from you guys, and we're gonna see if they're actually good takes or not. Also, I need to thank Jimmy High Roller for the concept for this video. If you haven't already seen his channel, he does a lot of basketball videos, including reacting to NBA hot takes. They're incredible. So if you're interested in basketball and somehow haven't seen his channel already, I'll link it below. But let's get into some tech hot takes. So here's a hot take. Tesla Cybertruck will outsell the Ford F-150
Puh!
by
What world of dilute? This is okay. This is in 2023, but oh my god, that could not have been more wrong. Oh my fucking god, that is okay. Wow, we're at that level of delusion. We're at like we're in a whole nother like universal plane of delusion now. Like you're taking Elon's dick so far in your throat that shit is like tearing it, like that shit is causing like abrasions in your fucking esophagus. Like that shit is not healthy to be sucking cock that deep.
2026. And this is a hot
The only
one.
thing a Cybertruck is outselling is my OnlyFans.
So the Cybertruck is one of the most hyped vehicles.
Yeah, this aged
in a
well.
long
This
time,
aged
as
well.
long as
This
I've been
did not
alive.
age well.
Certainly the most
Like,
hyped
I mean-
EV. The numbers speak for themselves.
I mean, it was
Now they're
hyped,
actually
but
being spotted around the roads around Tesla headquarters, and it seems like they're finishing up details of
Yeah, now
manufacturing
they're,
and
like,
design,
everywhere.
and they may be about to finally go into production.
Because
with
I
this
remember
thing.
it was
Now, the
so
hot
many
take is
years.
that it'll
Ooh,
outsell
Doug.
the F-150 in 3 years, because the F-150, as you may already know, is very popular. But the thing is, I don't know if you thought about this as you were typing it. I don't know if you realize how popular
So I need
the
to go this way,
F-150
because nobody wants to see your
actually
deer
is. The
spinning its
Ford
genitals.
F-150 has been America's best-selling truck for 46 years in a row. Actually, it's been the #1 most popular vehicle for 41 years.
Damn!
Last year, Ford sold one of these.
I thought it was like, I guess like the #1 truck for that long. I didn't think it was the #1 vehicle for that long. Damn. I thought it might have been like on and off or something.
trucks every
Damn.
49 seconds.
Damn.
It typically totals anywhere from 600,000 to just under 1 million of these things every single calendar.
That's it? I thought it was going to be
yeah,
more than
the
that.
Cybertruck,
Actually,
Very
I'm actually
high.
surprised it's
And
that
there are
low.
probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 1.5 million pre-orders, which is
Yeah, but
crazy
like
for a
that's
vehicle
over. That's
that
over.
big.
That's over the course of a few years, though. So like, and that's for a car, for a truck that's just living off hype, and one of the most hyped vehicles in recent memory at that time, and like a very widely hyped vehicle, regardless of how it turned out, and regardless of all that, it was hype. That's undeniable. That is undeniable. There was a lot of hype around it. There was a lot of excitement around it. Just people waiting that long too. And like, so there were a lot of fucking eyes on it. Like you asked anyone, like they'd probably remember the Cybertruck. They probably, like, even before it came out, they probably would have known what a Cybertruck looked like. Before like it even got on the road. So like there were a lot of eyes on it. But even then, even having pre-orders out open for years, where it was dead ass only $100 to put down I remember this shit. It was only $100 to put down a deposit, and it was a refundable deposit too, which is surprising. you could actually, it was completely refundable, so you could take it back whenever you wanted. And but even then, couldn't, like, they could only get 1.5 million, and like the Ford F-150 sell, I guess he says it sells like what, like 1 million a year. So like, and they got like 1.5 million over the course of like 4 years. So yeah, like that, in that time, Ford F-150 probably got like 2 to 4 million sales.
Yeah, only a handful of people have even seen.
If you don't believe the hype,
ads.
exactly.
But
yeah.
a couple of things. First of all, those
Dear
pre-orders
being me,
are
a Cybertruck is the honorable
$100
title, being the single smallest penis ever installed in an automobile, being a life-size picture of Elon Musk's
deposits.
dick.
I know
True.
that because I'm one of them. I think they're
Oh
actually
yeah. Yep. Here we go.
$100 refundable
Yep.
deposits.
Well, he already said it. Yep.
The point
There we
being,
go. Yep.
1.5 million pre-orders does not equal 1.5 million sales.
Exactly. And
It's just
even
that
then,
many
it was
people have
still-
reserved their spot in
even
line,
then, it
and
was still,
some fraction
like-
of them will convert to orders, but it won't be 100%. And Tesla knows that. But then number two, you can't just build them all at once. You have to ramp up into production. We've seen this with other models before. So, they'll start off small, a couple dozen 1 week. then
Okay, I'm definitely
100
gonna end
the
stream
next
once I
week,
get
then
60 minutes,
500
because
the next
I
week, and
seriously
they'll
have a lot
ramp
of
up.
shit
It'll
I have to
take
do.
a while to
Like,
get
and it's
through
already
the
getting kind of
first
late.
million, easily well over a year. Like at this very moment, Tesla doesn't even have the capacity to make 1 million Model 3s, let alone 1 million of something they've never made before. So, we could be optimistic about the manufacturing process, but it's going to be tough to get to 1 million of these things sold and dethroning the king by 2026. So I love the optimism about the Cybertruck possibly being one of the most disruptive vehicles ever.
Yeah,
Maybe.
well,
Could happen.
Didn't.
it's
It
gonna take
it didn't happen.
Bad
Did
take.
not
All right,
happen.
here's another
Bad
one.
take. Very bad
That
take.
Apple
Horrible take.
Maps
Oh,
is now-
wait. Oh, so I have seen this, because I remember this. I remember this one. I remember the nuances to this. Like, there are some aspects. Okay, you know what? I'll let it play out, because he does make some pretty
Better
good points about it.
than
Sure.
Google Maps. And this
And I agree
is-
with his take here.
This is a
Yeah.
interesting take.
I think there's upsides to both. There are big upsides to both. And I think he explains, I remember his explanation of it. He highlights really he really highlights it pretty much perfectly. I'll chime in if I have anything
Nick,
else.
do you remember when
Yeah.
Apple Maps first came out? Like all the horror stories, the articles that all came out, how bad it was. There were entire towns
Apple
missing.
Maps, yeah.
There were places that were just in the
That's the
wrong
Brooklyn-
spot.
wait, that's by the
that
Brooklyn
it
Bridge.
was. There were
Wait, that Apple Maps on the left, I guess. Wait, which one is which? Which one is supposed to be what? Oh, right, that's Apple Maps on the right. I'm retarded. What's the problem here? Beekman. I guess the scale is just a bit off. There's not a lot of problems with that. It's just, okay, the representation is kind of weird, but like, that's not that bad. It looks fine to me. Okay, low-key, I might see a couple streets missing.
entire
there
towns
might be a
missing.
street.
There were
There might
places
be a
that were
couple
just
streets
in the
missing.
wrong spot
There might
that
be a
it
couple.
was.
Wait,
There
let me
were
see that.
entire
Yeah, there might be a couple streets
towns
missing, maybe.
missing. There were places that were just in the wrong spot. It was getting people lost, driving them into water. It was
People
missing
look
a
like
ton
the
of
battle
features.
bus.
It was so bad that Tim Cook, the CEO, had to issue an apology. But
Apologizing is for that is
a lot of
crazy.
things have changed since then. Basically, I mean, having a good Maps app requires a lot of
Bro really said
I made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
for a fucking
mapping
Maps
data.
app.
So they've been plugging away at that since that launch, of course. All the Street View data, the correct location data, businesses, public transportation, different actual routes, real-time traffic, all that stuff, they've improved dramatically.
I remember,
at all
yeah,
of
I used to
that.
just use Apple
Plus,
Maps like
they've actually
exclusively.
started
I would
adding some
never use
genuinely
Google
cool
Maps.
features
I
on
would have
top.
probably agreed
I
with
can actually
that guy
vouch
like a
that
year, couple years
if you
ago.
look at Google Street View,
Oh, Google, no, this I will 100% vouch for. Apple's look around is miles better than Google Street View. In terms of coverage, absolutely not. Because, like, it only has, like, a few fucking cities in the U.S. For some reason, there are other countries, like, even Canada, I think. It has, like, most of the country covered. Like, even, like, way outside the city. Like, it has most roads covered, like Google Street View. But for some reason, the U.S. is one country where, like, only a few fucking metro areas are covered. And even then, it's not, like, the whole metro area. Like, you don't even have to go that far outside of New York City on Apple Maps for it to just completely lose its, like, look-around capability. Like, Apple Street View, pretty much. But anyway, like, the, yeah, no, it's still just so, like, the user experience is just so much better. Like, just the clicking around, it's so much more intuitive. It just doesn't, like, Google Maps can be a bit clunky sometimes, like a bit laggy. Like
and
it's
Apple
not the
Maps
best.
Street View in the same
The coverage has
location,
always been better, though.
9 times
That's
out
the
of
thing.
10, the Apple Maps one is actually
just
higher
smoother.
quality and smoother
Yeah.
and looks better. It's easier
Yeah.
to navigate. I also
Way
think
easier.
Apple Maps is generally better designed. It's just a little better looking than Google
Yeah,
Maps.
facts.
And as of the latest iOS 17 beta, it's actually finally getting one of the biggest features that was missing, which is downloading maps for offline.
Oh, yeah.
Finally. I'm not
Hell yeah.
ready to say that Apple Maps is better than Google Maps yet. I mean, especially because
Yeah, I can't say
it's
that's
multi-platform. It's just so much more available. And then the decades-long head start that Google's had in mapping and gathering information in the most obscure parts of the world, like it's going to take some time for Apple to continue to catch up with that. But I will say that it's at least caught up to Google Maps. They're on the same level. They're actually competitors, which is good because now they compete to try to get better. And for certain people, in some places, sometimes it's just as good, if not better, than Google Maps. There, I said it. I said it.
He did say it.
It's a good take.
He did. He
the
didn't
Magic
say
Mouse
it. He did indeed say
is
it.
the best
I'd say
mouse
I don't even know if I'd
for
say
the
I
Mac.
fully agree. It's like somewhere in the middle. Yeah. What? What?
No, y'all are really pushing this one.
Stop the cap.
Or
Like,
just
what?
another take for a second, and just talk about how does the Magic Mouse exist? Like, how is
That is no. That's
the best
5 out of
mouse
10
that
rage
Apple,
bait. Like
the
3 out of 10
world's
rage bait, bro.
richest
That is
$3
rage
trillion
bait.
company
Rage
could
bait.
come up with? Well, over billions of dollars.
And they
in
haven't
research and
updated it, like,
development
at all,
dollars
pretty
and the
much.
best
Like, it's
designers
been
in
like
the
a
world
decade, 15
and all the
years.
testing and
10, 15 years of fucking like complaints about this shit. And they haven't changed jack shit about it. Like,
and
it's still the same.
strategy
Still the
on
same
the
bullshit.
planet. This is the best mouse that they could come up with? Seriously? Sorry, I should be more objective here. What makes a good mouse? Zoom out. a
Also,
little
Waze exists. Yeah.
Good design.
Waze as a user
good
interface has never
performance,
been my favorite.
good
There's a lot of shit that
features,
Waze
good
like I
price.
don't usually use it for
The best
navigation.
mouse
There's a lot of
cannot
things that I
have a
think Waze could
fatal
use.
flaw.
In terms of just like the UI, I think Waze's UI is kind of ass. Like, really ass. I can't lie. Feature-wise, Waze is definitely the best. Waze is one of the better ones. But then again, you can't also do like multi-point navigation. That's another big thing that I like about both Apple Maps and Google Maps. Can't do that on Waze. That sucks. But also just like being able to like scroll around and easily like pin a location. I mean, usually I'll just like you can like go to Google Maps and then just put the address into Waze, so that's fine. But like, I don't know. I just don't like the UI. It looks like a 20-year-old UI. It looks like
in
fucking
more than
MapQuest.
one of these fundamental categories. And we all know about the fact that the only way to charge it is a lightning port.
Crazy.
And they put that port at the
Like you
bottom
like
of
you
the
deadass had to put the shit in fucking missionary to fucking charge it. Like,
mouse. So you literally can't even use it while you're waiting for it to charge. It might only happen once a month, but that's more than it should ever happen. But on top of that, it's also terrible ergonomically. I mean, there's a reason why all the other
I'm not
best
even gonna
mice
say
in the
anything.
world have an arch to rest your hand. But look, Olir's a smart guy. I don't think he's trolling. This is not a completely empty take. The reason why people genuinely feel this way about the Magic Mouse is because Apple has done to this accessory what they've done to every other accessory that they possibly can in their universe, which is making it impossible to make a better one than the Apple one. Like, you literally cannot make a better smartwatch for the iPhone because you'll never
True.
get as much access to the data and the integration that Apple gives its own watch.
okay, I probably won't
You
end
can
up not
literally
watching the
never
next
make
video.
headphones
You know
that
what?
pair more fluidly and switch more.
You know, I mean, since I have seen this, let's see a little bit from the next video. But I really have to end in a few minutes, like a
So,
couple minutes,
OnePlus
like really like a couple
made a
minutes.
tablet, and I made a quick short explaining.
You know,
it,
it's 8:55.
and
I mean,
immediately
as
there
long
were
as I end by
comments like,
9, that should be
please, This is
okay.
worth a full video.
Even
Please make a
then,
full
it's-
video
yeah.
on this. Please
not
elaborate
gonna do
on
bad at
this.
this point, though.
So now, that's what I'm doing. So I really get to explain what they've done. See, tablets haven't really changed much over the past couple years. Feels like we've kind of settled, if you will, into this sort of hierarchy where, especially in the US, iPads are so popular that it's basically just iPads and everything else. And
True.
I've even had
No, that's
conversations
fact.
recently with some friends about
That's
this,
fact.
which is just like
Dude, who besides a Surface, and even then, who uses a Surface in the Big 25? I would not recommend it. I used to have one. Would not recommend it for multiple reasons. But like who uses a tablet that isn't an iPad? I mean, besides like drawing tablets, there are a few exceptions to that. But like, for the most part, why most people don't have any other tablet besides an iPad?
they
Besides,
straight
like,
up
super
won't
budget
switch
options.
from the iPad. Like, no matter how good of a competitor comes up, it can be amazing hardware, it can be the best screen, the best battery in the world, it's an amazing tablet, but it still wouldn't be an iPad, which
Yeah.
is the iMessage and
Yeah,
the FaceTime
that's the thing, yeah.
and all the things that plug into the ecosystem of iPad and Apple world. So making an Android tablet that can actually take users from the iPad is clearly an uphill battle, but hey, if you're gonna try, you might as well have some strategy to it. And so OnePlus has 3. So strategy number 1, copying the iPad. So look, just to be clear, I understand there's only so many ways to make a rectangular computer. There's only so many ways to make a tablet.
Yeah.
And I actually don't mind when products
I don't
copy
think.
each
I
other
mean,
as
the
long as they
back doesn't
copy
really look anything like
good
the
stuff.
iPad. It doesn't really look much like
That
an
being
iPad
said,
on the back.
yeah, they've ripped some stuff straight from the iPad. Now, it does have its own unique
Yeah, it does
hardware
look
aesthetic. You
it does
gotta give
look
them
pretty
that. It's
different.
a different shape and a different color.
Yeah, it
and of
looks
course,
pretty
it's a
different.
different
Well,
layout,
okay, I'm
a
starting
bunch
to
of
see some
OnePlus, and
similarities,
it's a
like-
different shape
Like,
and a different
I mean, those 3 pins on the bottom, like, that's exactly like the smart connector on the iPad.
color, and of course it's a different layout with a bunch of OnePlus and Android features that really
Yeah, the design of the
suggest more
bezels.
holding it
Oh
in
wait,
hand.
wait. Okay, yeah, no, that bar at the bottom, yeah, that straight up just looks like an iPad. And also, like, yeah, like the way the bezel. I mean, to be fair, this is like a pretty simple design. Like, it's not like unique to the iPad, I'd really say. But like the bezel, like the way the bezels are around the side, it's like almost the exact same thickness as like an iPad Air Pro or something
Landscape,
like
unlike
that.
the iPads, which feel a bit more interchangeable. But they weren't shy.
Look,
about
like,
some
from the
things.
front, it looks
this
like an iPad
pencil.
running
This
Android.
is the Apple
Oh, what
pencil,
the fu-
and this
Bro,
is the new OnePlus
Come
pencil.
on, man.
Same
Come
shape,
on,
same
man.
size,
Except for the
same
top, like-
pressure-sensitive tip, which is
Is it-
nice.
per-
Same single flat side.
Like they said, if they made it at the, like they said, if like, okay, if we just make it flat at the top, nobody will notice, right? Yeah, no,
Same
bro.
size, same pressure-sensitive
Bro, I just could not tell you which one is which. I'm so serious.
tip, which is nice.
I
Same
think the Apple
single
one's on the
flat
left.
side,
Okay, I
which
think the Apple
prevents
one's
it
on the
from
left.
rolling away on a table, which is smart. But then same slapping onto the side of a tablet with magnets and charging it via
same
inductive
penis.
wireless charging, so you don't
Both
lose
square,
it.
both
It's
same, yeah.
convenient. It even has the same little animation to show you when you've paired it and how much
Bruh,
battery percentage you have.
come
There are
on.
probably other ways to do this, but you know the result is just a very familiar experience with a nice, finely
That's true.
controlled, pressure-sensitive pointing.
Yeah, I guess there's
device for
nothing- it's not
navigating around
inherently
and
bad.
swiping and even typing, and of course all the drawing and note-taking you could possibly.
Yeah,
do.
it's not
They've also
inherently
made a
bad.
magnetic keyboard accessory with a trackpad that connects to the tablet with magnets and these pins, and
Yeah.
turns into a whole lappable Android 11-inch laptop alternative.
Where have I heard
it
that
might
before?
not completely float the tablet above the keyboard like
but who
the
needs that?
heavier, less lappable one
Yeah.
from Apple. But
Well,
it
that one's
does
still
use
not lappable.
Basically, the
Like,
exact same
those
cursor
kickstand
mechanism
ones
as
are
the
not
iPad,
lappable.
where you can swipe around with this dark circle and then it snaps onto different touch targets as you move near them.
Well, like, not
Again,
really
a pretty
lappable,
great
I
thing
guess.
to copy. It's got quad speakers in the same 4 spots as the iPad Pro. It's even got this ultra wide camera at the front that has a software feature that can move around as you walk
that's
around
cool.
and keep you in the center of the
Oh,
frame.
that's
It's not
cool.
called Center Stage though, it's called Limelight. The point is there's a ton of stuff here where if you're going to take people away from the iPad, you got to at least make them feel at home. So then strategy number 2, undercutting the iPad. This one's pretty simple. The iPad line is already pretty expensive, so probably the most compelling thing you can do to get someone to consider an alternative is to be cheaper than the iPad. So iPad Air, I think that's a pretty good comp. iPad Air starts right now with the newest one at $599, and that's the 64 gig version. This tablet, as we mentioned, pretty fairly priced, $479, and that's 128 gig. So you can see it's a pretty good start, but you have to be careful because in order to get to that price, you have to trim just the right set of things that people hopefully don't notice too much. So this tablet is running a MediaTek Dimensity 9000 chip, which benchmarks similar to the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, which is about 50% beneath the more expensive flagship Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. Honestly, most of the time, not noticeable, but if you are going to ask it some more demanding things, especially like gaming, then you will feel that this is not the highest end chip. There is also no fingerprint reader, which is fine, but there's also no extra
Bro, he's not
infrared
reading
or
that
depth
shit.
sensors. It's just straight up facial recognition with the standard RGB selfie camera. And
Bruh.
for some reason, my face has to be
Come
really
on, man.
close
The
to
big
it to
25?
unlock. It's just picky enough to get slightly annoying.
You could probably
sometimes.
show, like,
And then
a
this
picture
display
and it would get
doesn't
tricked.
quite get as bright. It maxes out at 500 nits, so it limits
That's
your
ass. What the
usability for
fuck?
sure. And then this keyboard case, which is optional, it's actually
Dude, my
noticeably
phone
cheaper
gets
now.
up to like 1,000 nits. I was using it in like bright sunlight today or yesterday. I could not see that shit at all.
It's actually $149, so it's literally half the price of the Magic Keyboard.
still
But also, it's
expensive,
not
but yeah,
backlit, it doesn't
that's way
float
cheaper.
the tablet or anything. It's also less premium feeling material, so it's more in line with the Smart Folio case, which is still $179.
Yeah,
But
I just
really,
hate
the
I
most interesting
hate the
strategy-
material of that smart folio case. It just I don't like that. The material it's made out of, it just feels really weird.
Strategy number 3.
The metal one is just so much nicer. Like, it's night and fucking day. Like, this actually feels like the Apple version of this feels like a professional, like, feels like an actual, like, keyboard. It has a trackpad and everything. It actually feels nice. This one, it feels mushy. It doesn't feel right. It feels like shit. If you're gonna get this, get like some like Logitech shit, or get like a
Which
third-party
is
one.
still
It'll be way better.
$179. But
Way
really
better.
The most interesting strategy number 3.
But if you're gonna
is
spend the money, then
one
get
up
the
it.
nicer
Yeah.
Apple one. If
There
you
are
have
some
an
things
iPad.
they've done with this tablet that are objectively better than any iPad. Okay, so here we go.
Okay, I
First
do
of all,
wanna see
is
this,
an
and then I
11.5
really
inch
have to
display
dip.
with a unique, slightly tall 7:5 aspect ratio and slightly thinner bezels than the iPad. But you know what's straight up better than any iPad? It's
Oh, it does have thinner
144
bezels, okay.
hertz refresh
Oh,
rate. Granted,
eh,
that's
I
only
mean, that's
slightly higher
not-
than the
not
120
much of a
hertz
difference.
iPad Pro, but for $479, I mean, you're more in line with the 60 hertz
that's
iPad
pretty
Air.
good.
And I'm a sucker for a high refresh rate display, and I do notice the
That's
difference
pretty good
in a
deal
few
for the
key
money, though.
places, like
I will
scrolling
say.
around, browsing in Chrome, and drawing.
You
with
go,
the
Leo.
pen.
No, you'll
More
see
on
you-
that in a
see you
second.
later.
The
No worries,
ultra-wide
man. See you.
front-facing camera is on
Yo,
the
what's good,
landscape
F4
bezel. That's
F4R?
also better than almost every iPad.
Too bad, man. You joined like just before I'm about to end.
Except for the
But what's
newest
good though?
cheap
How
one.
you
So
doing?
anytime you're on a video call, you actually sit in the middle of the frame, not kind of awkwardly off to one side. It also is an objectively better battery than any iPad. This is a 9500 10 milliamp hour battery that's iPad Pro size.
I'm putting the
and
fries in the
combined
bag
with
right
the
now,
chip,
damn.
It has rock solid battery life and very good
Hey, I
standby
mean,
time. And it charges
better than me,
much
though. At least
faster
you're
than any
employed.
iPad. It's
Sorry,
got
I know that might be a
67
jump scare for y'all.
watts superboost charging. So
It's a joke.
most
I
of
know,
the
bit,
tablet using world is gonna
it's
be
scary
used
to me,
the
too.
iPad's
I'll
kind of
admit.
slow 30 watts of charging.
Good, I
This
hate
one
my
can charge
job,
from 0
damn.
to 100 in an
What
hour
is
and a
it, if
half
you don't mind
with
me
the
asking? I
charger
mean, well,
that's
putting the fries in the bag, but
and then there's also this
like
whole
McDonald's or something?
special features section in the settings where they've tucked these nice, clever little enhancements, mostly to do with the multitasking experience. So I'm not even going to remind you of the disaster that is Stage
Oh, that's
Manager
cool.
on the iPad. That's
Oh,
still
button free?
experience. So I'm not even.
oh, okay, no, never mind. I thought it was like saying like it shows like buttons on the screen.
It's included in the box.
Oh,
And
McDonald's,
then there's
yes, I have
also
a
this
job.
whole Special features.
I mean,
section
hey,
in
at
the
least you got-
settings where they've tucked these
at least you
nice,
got
clever little
something, though.
enhancements, mostly to do with the multitasking experience.
I respect
so I'm
that.
not even going to remind you of the disaster
Hell yeah.
that is Stage Manager on the iPad.
God, not a
That's still
job, I
kinda
know.
rough, but on the OnePlus Pad, you can do
It's called
things like
Taco Time. It's
drag
fast
two
food chain in my
fingers down
state.
from
Oh,
the middle
shit.
of the screen to slice your app in
That's fun.
half
I mean,
to
that's
initiate
okay. I don't know about
split-screen
fun, but
multitasking with apps that support it.
I have
And
not.
then there's
I've never
three
been to a
different window
taco
sizes that it
a
supports,
taco
and you can
time
switch those
myself.
around. There's also a smart sidebar that kind of slides
sounds
out
good,
from the
though.
top right where it's
Like
this
the copy
hidden
cake.
dock, so you can put your favorite apps in there or some quick shortcuts to grab whatever you want, or just open up the
Okay,
list
I mean,
of all your apps again.
It's a
So,
pretty standard Android
lots of
feature.
good
It's,
stuff
I
in
feel
here,
like
right? They've even got some little
Apple should have
ecosystem
that,
stuff
but I
going
mean,
on
you
since
know,
OnePlus
yeah,
makes
it is.
phones. You can
Apple will have it in like
do
10 years,
data
even though
sharing
Android
with
had it
another
10 years
OnePlus
ago.
phone super easily. There's a lot,
Like an app switch, like
but
a
this is
shortcut
still
app thing,
an Android
like
tablet,
menu. I mean,
which means a lot of
has
things.
60
It
AI
means
man at the right of your
short-
screen. Reactbot, you want to introduce yourself?
This is really getting me in the Christmas spirit.
Well, it's June now. I actually don't think it could be farther from Christmas. Reactbot. I hate to break it to you, man.
Amen.
Amen. That's right.
What do you think? Shut up.
Bitch, shut your bitch ass up. I
Of course,
can.
that there is
I'll-
no FaceTime, iMessage, all the ecosystem stuff that comes
Yeah.
that Apple people like, obviously. But that
This
also
gay people
means
season, hell yeah.
the app situation is
Hell yeah,
still
no, happy Pride Month,
not
though,
what you
real
want it to be.
shit.
Like when I say apps that support it with multitasking, that's a pretty small list. Like there's just very few good, well-optimized Android.
Things like
tablet
Christmas in
apps even
July?
today in 2023.
Is that a thing?
It also means that the
Your mouse is
144
fucking around?
hertz
Oh, like your pet
capable
mouse? Oh.
display is rarely actually refreshing at 144
Oh,
hertz.
what the
It's
hell?
often at 120 hertz.
Well,
or
then what
even
the fuck?
60 hertz, depending on the app support again.
Oh, right. Okay.
And that sort of means
Tell
you
me in the
really
big
get
25,
extra
you don't
stuff
get a lot
when
of
you're
apps that
scrolling
support
around
that shit?
UI or
They don't support a
web
high refresh
browsing
rate in the big 25?
or in the settings app, basically, and not while gaming. It also means the
Well, that's
cameras
retarded.
are
What the fuck?
meh. So you see the
Well, it's a
camera's
tablet.
sort
It's
of
a
this unique
tablet. Who
layout
cares,
in the
man?
middle. It's a 13 megapixel camera on the back. But
I don't
the
think
photos it
people
takes
really
are
take-
pretty mid. Not that a
That's
tablet
fine.
is like some photography
Yeah,
machine.
it's a tablet,
mostly
bro.
for video calls, but even this
It's
is
jorking around
pretty
like a
grainy. It
peanuts.
has this like
Nice.
splotching even in a well-lit environment. Not great. And then for the arguably even more important selfie camera, it's mostly for video calls, and so it should look pretty decent. This is perfect lighting.
Okay,
And
that does
even
not look
In
decent.
these dark shadows, you can see
I guess the
some
lighting is nice, but
weird
nah, that
noise
quality is
artifacts and
cheeks.
Splotching and this over here, It's
That quality
1080p
is
and
cheeks.
It's fine. It's probably
Nah.
fine, but in
Nah.
limelight mode, when it's doing the ultra wide and hunting around, it looks worse than this too. And it also means that Android 14
Looks compressed
is
as
on
fuck.
the horizon.
Well, then again,
that
okay,
will probably
maybe to be fair, it's in contrast with his like amazing other cameras that he
improve
uses.
a
That
lot
shows
of
like
the multitasking
everything.
stuff we just saw. But this one's going to launch with Android
That's why, like,
13.
I'm fine having a slightly shittier camera. I don't need a really nice camera to show all the little imperfections on my
Get one
face,
at
bro. This
Android
one's already
13
good
and
enough.
never
Especially
buy a
with this
product
lighting, man. It
based
does
on
enough.
Potential future software updates. So as of right now, it's an Android 13 tablet. So OnePlus has made a good tablet for a good price. I think a lot of people would consider this a bargain at $479 for the 128 gigs, but because of the state of tablets, it feels like they're up against some impossible task. Like, this is the same thing that
Among
happened
Us
to
task?
Samsung's Ultra tablet. Remember the video I made on the Ultra? The Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra tried something super, super high-end, and honestly, in the hardware and design department, they really beat the iPad in a lot of ways. They made an incredible piece.
Yeah, that
But
looks really
same
nice.
question, where is it now? I think the same place.
Right,
as
didn't
this.
Samsung make like
Some
a
people are
really
gonna buy
big
it,
tablet
and they're
or
going to be
something?
pretty happy with it, and those people knew exactly what they were getting into.
Type shit. And it's a good deal, too.
Tough task.
Among Us. What flavor geek? This is a Airbar Aura, actually. It's crazy, brain rot ass name, but it's a clear, actually. I actually specifically get the clear ones. I used to get the flavored ones, but I actually started my nicotine addiction on the clear ones. Then like because it was when I was going to college in Massachusetts where flavored vapes were banned. But then when I moved back to the city, I started just getting flavored vapes again, but I still preferred the clear. Like, they just didn't sell them at a lot of stores around me. But then I think, like, at some point, technically they did ban flavored vapes, but like every store still sells them even today. But like, except some stores will abide by it. But so I found this other store near me that sells these shits, and like, nah, I like it. It feels slightly less unhealthy. I mean, I'm still destroying my lungs, but yeah, nah, hey. I can at least forget about it a little bit. No, but I don't know. I like it. I like how it tastes clean. But I will catch y'all though in the next one. I have to start packing. I'm leaving for Rome tomorrow. I'm definitely gonna be streaming when I'm there. I'm bringing my computer. I'm gonna be doing IRL streams there too. Yeah, I'll catch y'all there. Take care, and peace. Bye.
的企业版内，这你本身当家做主人，一呀一次哟，呀呀，推个波啊，这你本身当家做。